Hi there, students. I hope you have your Realize Reader open by this point in the presentation as was instructed. We are going to begin reading Back to My Own Country, an essay. You may have already read this once on your own, or maybe not, but I wanted to have a guided reading where we read it together. And I read to you the first couple paragraphs and show you how I would annotate it using my Realize Reader, all right? Okay, so what you do is you're gonna log into greendot.org/Pearson, okay? You're gonna go to browse, you're gonna pull up that virtual textbook, which is the Realize Reader. You're gonna go to the table of contents all the way down to where it says Unit 6, then you're going to go to where it says Whole Class Learning, and then you're going to go down to where it says Back to My Own Country, an essay, and you're going to click. Okay, bet. Okay, and then you've got this essay, and we're going to learn all about essays, the different types of essays. We're going to learn about point of view, we're going to learn about purpose, and this will really be helpful, especially as you go forth into adulthood, and especially to those of you who are going to be taking some college classes next semester and writing essays of all kinds, both technical, for English class, for science. For most of all your classes, you're going to have to write some type of essay at least once or twice in a semester. So it is important that you learn how they sort of work and what the structure is. And we're going to do that while also reading about colonialism, the Caribbean, life in England, racism, all that good stuff. Not good stuff, bad stuff. Okay, so let's start with paragraph 1, okay? And remember, with your Realize Reader, the cool thing about it is that makes it cooler than a PDF is that you can highlight, you can circle, you can underline, and this is the kind of stuff that I showed you in our Google meeting. But I digress. Let's begin. I remember a journey I took on a London bus when I was a young girl. It was the early 1960s. Boom, we got our setting. Let's highlight that. Highlight. I'm going to do it in pink. You can choose the colors, you guys. This is sick. Okay. The bus was full of people, and one of them was a black man. That was not a common sight in those days. I could tell from his accent that, like my parents, he was from somewhere in the Caribbean. Okay, so now we've got some more revealing of information, right? So Levi, our author, she's a girl, right? Her parents look like this black man on the bus, meaning they are also black, right? And they're also from the Caribbean. He was talkative, smiling politely at the people and trying to engage them in chat. He's a good guy. But all the other people on the bus were white and looking at him in askance. Okay, this is another cool thing about the Realize Reader. You're going to scroll over that 1. There's a little 1 over that word askance, and you can see that it means with suspicion or disapproval. So here we've got this black man on the bus in the 1960s in England who is a nice man, right? Who's trying to talk to people and be friendly. You don't see that anymore, right? Especially not now with the social distancing. But you have these white people who are just looking at him with this sort of suspicion, or they don't like him. Maybe he's doing something wrong. You know how they are. Not all, but I'm going to stop. Nobody would be drawn into conversation, so they're pulling away from him. They clearly wanted nothing to do with him, but he carried on trying anyway. And then, this is great, the paragraphs are numbered. I was embarrassed by him, but also overcome with pity for his hopeless attempt to be friendly on a London bus. So she's got this empathy for him. And I think that's going to be one of the budding themes in this essay. And essays can have themes, right? They can be thematic in their own way, especially an essay like this, which is very personal. It has a lot of storytelling. I was sure that he was a nice man, and if those people on the bus could just get to know him, then they would like him. There's that theme of empathy. My family also came from the Caribbean. I identified with him. And here's what I think is going to be a second theme in the essay, which is this idea of visibility, right? Visibility, he looks like her parents. The white people refuse to see him as a human being. There's a lot of things surrounding visibility and point of view. He somehow became my mom and dad, my sisters, my brother, and me. But to the other people on the bus, he was more than a stranger. He was an alien. I felt a longing to make some introductions. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the circle feature, and I'm going to circle that word alien. Because our essential question has to do with home, right? This whole unit has to do with home, dominion, exile, travel, coming from one country to another, right? Alien, that term alien, we hear it a lot in regard to what? I'm gonna have a Dora the Explorer moment. I'm just gonna wait. Yes, good job. Immigration. We hear it a lot when it comes to immigration, okay? I felt a longing to make some introductions. I could sense the misunderstandings that were taking place, but I didn't know why or what I could do. The man was different. He looked different and he sounded different. And there's those other sort of main ideas that came out of some of our other readings that have to do with culture shock and cultural differences. But how come people in England did not know him? Why was he, and why were all Black people from Britain's old empire so completely alien to them? This encounter is something I will never forget. So it all begins with this personal experience. She's using that to introduce her essay, to place it in a space and time, and then she's going to bring in some technical elements that have to do with colonialism, with dominion, exile, culture shock, and all of these different ideas that she's going to use in her essays, but it all really comes down to her point of view and her personal experience.